All right, here we go. Thank you for all joining us today.
It's exciting to see everybody. My name is Don Cruzy. I'm Susie's husband and a good friend of Bobby's, and now a good friend of Leia's, who we met. So we're excited about that. I mean, we've got some great things to share about this growing unit, the Tower Garden by Juice Plus. It is an amazing unit that we have been working with for about 7 or 8 years. And I just want to go over some details about it, some history about it a little bit. Bobby's going to talk about growing, and Leia's going to talk about growing. And so it's going to be an exciting day. And I think it's from a standpoint of working the system here, we're going to get the slides advancing. There's Susie and myself a couple of years ago at one of her birthday parties we celebrated. And this in front of us is the product line. It's a very simple product line that Juice Plus has. We have in the front picture, we have the capsules, the omega, the berries, the vegetable, and the fruit in the purple, green, and red. We've got the gummies, which are sitting here in the pouches, the green, red, and purple pouches. We've got the complete, which is our shake mix, delicious. It's a powder-based shake mix, just delicious and good nutrition from fruits and vegetables in that as well as a soy-based program. And we've got some great snacking complete bars. It's a very simple product line. But the exciting thing about also in this picture is the Tower Garden. We want to grow good health. We want to grow health to be able to have it very convenient and very easy to work with. And so these type of things are exciting. And this, from a Juice Plus standpoint, for those who haven't really heard a lot about Juice Plus, this is what the capsules represent. There are 3 basic capsules: the fruit, the vegetable, and the berry. And if you look inside here at all the pictures of all the fruits, vegetables, and berries that are represented in here, I mean, it's amazing. I didn't even know about elderberries or pomegranate or black currant or bilberries. I mean, I wasn't even used to that. I mean, what I knew was, you know, I'd eat a banana occasionally and I'd have a salad occasionally. But now, as Leia was talking about, and Bobby and us have been doing, and many of you on the call, basically flooding our bodies every day with fruits and vegetables and berries, and just being a strong immune system. And the beauty about Juice Plus is that it's clinically proven. It's not just something that we've put together and thought it would work. We thought it would work, but we've now proven with over 40 clinical studies, we have proven Juice Plus has a major effect on your system, the bioavailable. What I think extremely important now is that it supports an immune system, a strong immune system, cardiovascular health, skin health, gums. You're basically reducing systemic inflammation as we talk about aches and pains and things like that we have. Juice Plus is a program that, with all the studies that we've done at all the universities, it's basically the future of nutrition. We have over 25 universities that have done these 40 studies. And Dr. Richard Du Bois, who is a retired surgeon and general doctor in Atlanta, Georgia, who worked with Emory University and their chief of infectious disease down in Atlanta. Dr. Du Bois says there's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been shown to do all the things in the human body that Juice Plus has been shown to do, that we previously showed you on that slide. So Dr. Du Bois is a extreme benefactor of Juice Plus, and also a very wonderful spokesman for us from the healthcare industry. But you know, while Juice Plus is the future of nutrition, the future of food and the future of farming sits in the Tower Garden. And we're going to kind of focus a little bit on that today. And this gentleman from the vertical farm, he's talked about the urban landscape has become the new agriculture frontier for patios, for rooftop gardens, backyard gardens. You know, growing your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs is a thing that was sort of a closet industry, but in these last couple of months has just exploded into a desire to control your own food source. And that's the exciting thing about the vertical growing system that we have that we call the tower garden. Now, the tower garden is an aeroponic growing system. Aeroponic because it combines the nutrients with oxygen in a vertical system. And so we use all natural earth mineral growing tonic. And I'll explain that in a minute. It was developed by Tim Blank down at Epcot about 12 years ago. We've had it on the market about 7 or 8 years. And so this is a wonderful growing system. And what I like about it are a number of things, kind of highlighted what it is. It's very simple. It's a mechanical system. It's vertical, so it takes up significantly small amount of space. Aeroponic, which is a tried and proven way of growing nutrient-dense food. And it's very sustainable. The water we have in here continues to circulate. It's very low carbon footprint. And basically we have it as an efficient and very cost-effective way to grow fruits and vegetables, a cost-effective way to garden. We're using water and minerals to produce clean, nutrient-dense food. And I can say all of that because aeroponics has been proven to be safe and ecologically friendly. All right, sustainable gardening because we reuse a lot of the water that we have there. Matter of fact, we only use 2% of the water when we grow our tower. And we grow stronger plants and healthier plants. And many times they're growing faster because they're exposed to more CO2 and oxygen. And we have a higher yield and it can be done in less space. Now, I didn't just prove that in my backyard, believe me. We were at the University of Mississippi, who has done a clinically proven study with the tower garden that talked about the average yield about 30% higher. And they went over a base of about 8 different plants. The antioxidant equivalence was the same, whether it was grown in the tower garden or in their vertical soil or in their fertile soil. Takes less time and less maintenance, they found, and specifically less land and less water. So we can say all the things about the tower garden because we've clinically proven them as well. And I want to show you a quick little video.
Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
We're going to show you some pictures of that growing produce in a minute or two, but a couple of things to highlight also about the tower garden. You'll see here, this is a picture on the left side of the tower garden. And when you get your tower garden, you'll see that black pot. We call that a net pot. You'll assemble your tower, very straightforward assembly instructions. You'll assemble the tower and you'll put those net pots in the various holes because when you grow your seedling, whether it be from seed or you get a seedling itself, they are very easy to install. What's happening in this picture is the individual is planting the seedling, which is in rock wool. The rock wool gives support to the root system and the plant to get it going. we put that whole piece of rock wool with the plant into the net pot. And that's its home for a period of time while it's growing in the tower garden. So as you can see, there's no dirt, so it's easy to maintain. No dirt, no weeding, less climate sensitive because you have your own control with all the water. So you're going to be growing faster and you're going to be enjoying less labor with that as well. The tower garden makes gardening affordable. It pays for itself in approximately 1 to 2 seasons. I like to be conservative. Depending upon what you grow, it'll pay for itself faster. If you're growing some products, and takes maybe a year to pay for itself if you're growing other products. But again, it's designed to work and to last. I mean, we've had ours now for 7 years and we haven't had a problem. I think we bought 1 new pump, okay? So it's not a problem. So the fresh produce becomes affordable as well as convenient right outside your back door or right inside your kitchen, wherever you may have it. This is a Tower Garden Flex. This was the original. We call it Tower Garden Flex because we can have it either inside during the summer or during the wonderful weather months, or we can actually put lights on this and have it inside the house or outside the house, okay? So we've got ours growing outside now, but we could also move that inside with lights. This is the new Tower Garden Home Unit. The Tower Garden Flex comes with a 20-gallon green tub. This tub is a 13-gallon with wheels on the bottom, and so it's easier to move around your house. It also has the lights that come shipped with it. They're on back order right now. I know that, but it's coming off back order relatively soon. But the Tower Garden Home can be used in the house. It can grow 16 larger plants and 16 smaller baby green plants. And Bobby will go over that a little bit later. But when you get your basic system, this is what it comes with. Everything, you open the box, you're ready to go. You have the growing tonic, you have the net pots, you have the rock wool, you have the pump, and you have all the instructions on growing your seeds that even come with it. Or you can buy your own seeds. Both of those are very easy to get. You have a timer that comes with it. And so this is all enclosed, and that's your basic system. Now, in addition to that system, we can add a couple of things to your tower garden. You can add an extension kit on the left side where you can grow 8 larger plants, or you can add the baby green unit, which means you could grow literally 32 other plants, small baby greens or microgreens, all right? Now, I would suggest doing one or the other with your tower garden as an extension kit to the basic unit. Also, with the basic unit, if you have the Tower Garden Flex, sometimes it's convenient to have a dolly if you're going to have it on your patio or driveway or something like that. That way you can move it around. And also the LED lights. Again, they come with the Tower Garden Home Unit that you see on the left side. You can add those to the Tower Garden Flex if you want to grow indoors during any time of the year. So those are some extensions that we can have additionally to the basic unit itself. But the construction of the tower garden is very important, and I want to emphasize this because the plastic, it's BPA free. It's food safe plastic. I've had people talk to me about, oh, I'm worried about, are the resins stable enough that they don't leach into the food system? And yes, this is UV stabilized resins. This is made in the United States, but these resins are compliant with the FDA and the Canadian and the European agencies as well. And many times Canada and Europe are a little more restrictive into their granting its compliancy as opposed to the FDA. But in all 3 locations, we are approved. And it's built for years of use on the outdoors as well as indoors. Now, the other key element, I believe, is the tower tonic itself. When you get your tower, you'll have a quart of A and a quart of B. You can order additional gallons as you see fit, but this was developed by leading experts in plant nutrition. It's solution-based. So when you mix that in with your water, it's going to stay in the solution, all right? It's not going to settle down to the bottom. It's inorganic mineral solution that is derived from earth minerals. It's made from earth minerals. It's pH balanced. It's nutrient dense. We have 8 macronutrients and 8 micronutrients in the tower tonic itself. And I know that not all plants need all 16 nutrients, but each plant takes what it needs because it's available to it. And again, it was specifically designed to support the tower garden. People have asked me if they could use other types of fertilizer. I say, listen, the tower tonic is inexpensive for this device, and it is specifically designed. Let's stay with something that we know works and we know is dependable. But let me ask you this, and let Bobby go a little further now as that kind of gives you the basics of the unit itself. But everybody's excited about what can they grow. Bobby, why don't you take it from here?
Thanks, Don. Well, you know, whenever you do that, tell us about the whole system itself, I always learn more, you know. So I thank you for that. And then the gentleman that you see on the screen right here is Chef John Mooney, and he is the owner of Bell Book and Candle in New York. And this was really the first time that I ever got my mind expanded as to what the possibilities are. So this chef has one of those brownstone type buildings there in New York. He has his restaurant on the lower level, and at the very top level, he grows more like what you're seeing here. This is his on top of his restaurant, and he's growing different things. Now, just to give you an idea of this, you may be thinking, I'm going to have a tower at home and I'm going to grow 20 different plants. That makes sense. John, on his rooftop, though, he may choose to grow an entire tower of parsley, as an example. So then, is that my screen? No, I think
No,
so.
it's me.
Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of neat. And there's a lot of things that he's growing there. He grew kale and beans and basil and nasturtiums. So my gosh, why not grow some flowers that are edible? Everybody can do that. So that's wonderful. On the next screen, I just want to touch base about how I personally choose what I'm going to grow too. And you can buy a packet of seeds. And really, that's the least expensive way to go. Or you can buy seedlings at a well-known nursery, let's say. What's the savings there is the time of growing. So that seedling that you're purchasing may be, 3 inches high, let's say, or more, okay? But growing from seeds, within a week to 3 weeks, you'll have the same thing. So it's just a matter of your choice there. And I plant the seeds in rock wool, as you see here. I put it in a tray, it's got water in it, and within about depending on the produce, depending on a week to 3 weeks, it'll be looking like what you're seeing here. And the next slide then. So this is just a sample of some of the things that I've grown. Anywhere there's a green star, that's something I've personally grown. And now I'm experimenting with some other plants too. So that's fun. And this gives you just an idea that you can have edible flowers, you can have ornamental flowers, you can have fruits and vegetables, you can have herbs. And I just want to say this about herbs. When you go to the grocery store, you're paying $3, $4 for a tiny little tray. And you just spent pennies on seeds. So you tell me which is the most efficient there in terms of getting money back. The one thing at the bottom, that's okay. It just says you're not going to plant a tree in it, you're not going to plant a bush in it, and you're not going to plant something that grows underground. Although there are some things that are going on that are experimenting now. I've seen beets actually grow on a tower garden, and I'm hearing that carrots can too. So pretty exciting. Now the thing is that the growing mechanism is the same whether it's indoor or outdoor. It's just a matter of choice of foods. So if you're thinking of growing something that flowers, not just a flower, but such as tomatoes or cucumbers or squash, you probably want to do that outside. And inside, that's just my preference anyway. This particular list that you see here on the screen actually comes with an indoor tower garden. It gives you the things that will grow best inside. It's not limited to that, certainly. And I think if you're a scientist or you like to experiment, experimenting with seeds is a wonderful way to do that. The biggest thing is you plant what you'll eat, right? Or give it to your neighbors to eat, one of the two. The next slide. Yeah, so here's a comparison between, I like to think of this as a nice marriage, because in our home, we have both the home and the outside unit, the flex unit. I started out with the flex, bringing it inside. And then eventually I got another one and another one and another one. But I want to just center a little bit on the home unit now. That's the one that's the newest one that I have. And mine is in my kitchen. I have a small, narrow kitchen, and the home unit is great for being able to get through narrow doorways because it's only 24 inches in diameter. It has 32 plants sites on it, as Don had said. 16 of them are for bigger plants like lettuces and Swiss chard and things like that. And then at the very top of it are 16 spots for baby greens. So that's pretty neat to see that. We can go on to the next slide. Yeah, so I didn't know whether I'd be a gardener or not because all my gardening experiences had failed all my life. And the one that's on the left is my very first tower garden. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, and I immediately went to my computer and ordered another one. And I have a deck outside, so it easily supported 2 large growing plant machines, if you will, like somebody had mentioned earlier. And then this is the inside is my tower garden home, and it's growing in the corner of my kitchen. Okay, go on to the next screen. Here's an example of some Bibb lettuce growing. Now, you know, this is not photoshopped. This is just taken with a camera, probably an iPhone, not necessarily have to be that, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you know what's really neat is that I can come up to that, a child can come up to it, anybody can come up to it, grab a leaf off of it and start eating it. I didn't have to go over to my sink and wash it down. I certainly didn't have to use some kind of special solution at this time to do that. So it's great. So that's, and there's some other plants growing around it. Here's an example of a tomato growing or an eggplant, nasturtium. And Don, what's that one in the lower left corner?
I believe that's some snap peas.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. That's yummy. And then on this is an example on the left, a family garden. That's where you can buy 3 towers at one time. And they are all the flex unit. And some families of 4 would probably do something like that. I personally don't have that large a family, but I do have a lot of towers. But then on the right is something that I wanted to do because my neighbor grew impatiens, but she spent hours watering it. And I said, I bet I could change that up a bit. And I tried planting impatiens in a tower, and it's just beautiful. And it waters itself, and you know, I don't have to spend a lot of attention to it. So just wanted to share that. Go ahead. Yeah. So to me, some of the advantages of a tower garden is that, number one, the timer signals the pump when to water it. So I don't have to make notes on my calendar, oh, go one water my garden or anything like that. I love the fact that there's no dirt, so my hands stay clean. And you know what, when I go on vacation, all I do is call up one of my friends and say, hey, Ellen, can you come over and kind of watch the tower, make sure there's water in it? You know, because in the summertime, it can evaporate pretty quick. But then she gets to harvest the tower and enjoy it herself. And some of the other neighbors did too. All right. Another advantage is there's no expensive gardening tools or products. There's the tower garden pays for itself over time. I think, Don, you mentioned that you felt like within 1 season or 2 seasons, something like that, it would pay for itself. And again, it's like you said, depends on how long you define your season to be. My season typically is year long because it'll either be inside or outside. And this will just give you an idea of just payment process on this. So if you're buying a flex and it's going outside and there's no light unit on it, that the way the kit comes, it's about $52 a month for a period of 12 months. If you're going to buy an indoor unit for the home unit, that smaller one, then again, it's about $80. It comes with the lights, and it's about $81 a month for a period of 12 months then. Yeah. And then I think the best thing, another advantage is I don't have surprises in my refrigerator. Do you have this? Do you find things in the bottom drawer of your vegetable bin? I certainly do. Even today, because not everything is grown in the tower garden. And now we're going to hear some customer comments here.
My tower gardens are amazing. The aeroponic gardening system I absolutely love. I have this one that's complete of tomatoes, beefsteak and cherry tomatoes and basil. Then the other one's just a mixture of like chard and broccoli and all my favorite different fruits and vegetables I have. And now my third one is gonna have different herbs, so like lavender and thyme and sage.
Here you are allowing people to grow their own foods that, the tower garden will pay for itself within a couple of years, but you get to keep it forever.
And I would spend probably about $50 a week on organic fruits and vegetables, and now I don't have to do that.
I also juice every day, so I get all my kale and all my chard from there and anything else I'm going to put in there. So I love that thing.
Because it tastes good. It really does. And I have no green thumb. I can't grow anything, and I've been able to get things to grow. The best tomato I had last summer was from my tower garden.
This is my first time ever seeing celery grow from start, and we have huge stocks of celery. My wife's a big strawberry fan, so we've done strawberries.
All winter long, we've been able to grow fresh produce in our living room. It makes a nice centerpiece and talking piece. Move the coffee table out, move a tower garden in, and it's been really fun for my family and my kids.
It becomes such an amazing experience for them because they get to go and they get to pick it themselves.
I told them, you can just walk right up to it and eat from it, and they love that.
We have salad party day. We harvest our tower garden, and the kids are having their salad party and coming back and asking for more. Salad, please. You're doing the right thing.
And the joy of feeding our family, where we literally grow outside the kitchen door, harvest from tower to salad bowl to table. It's just been a wonderful addition to our diet.
And he does most of it now. And I was the one that gardened in the soil for many years. He's now our tower garden farmer.
And clearly, if I can grow a tower garden, it's inevitable that anybody can grow a tower garden.
That's great. Oh my gosh. What wonderful ideas that they had and the joy that they had. And I just want to say that probably one of the biggest things that will happen when you get your tower garden, you're going to start using your phone like crazy for pictures. It is the way to show everybody what's happening. I know my phone is out often. And I just want to give this idea to you to expand your thinking a little bit. Mother's Day is coming up soon, and probably some birthdays. You're probably thinking about somebody. And when I think about this, I remember my mother watching me try to garden. She wasn't a gardener either, but I bet her grandmother was. And I bet when we see pictures like this, we begin to think, who else could use a tower garden? And I just suggest that you sit down and you think, who are my neighbors? Who are my neighbors that like to garden, would like to garden? And give them this idea too. You go on to the next screen. I just want to share an additional thing about picturing the possibilities. How large a dream can you have? And the late Kobe Bryant and his wife Vanessa had this dream of feeding the homeless in LA. They bought a hotel and they renovated the hotel for the homeless. And then somebody gave them the idea that, you're probably going to want to feed the homeless also. I don't know the whole story, but I do know that Tim Blank and Kobe came together and they put together all these tower gardens on the top of the hotel to feed the homeless. It's amazing. Bill Clinton was there and he mentioned that he saw this as the probably the future, if you will, of gardening and even farming. This young man here is a boy from the Matthew Dickey Boys and Girls Club here in St. Louis, and this is a perfect opportunity to also say that a lot of these tower gardens are in schools too. That you'll either have a connection with the principal or a connection with a parent, and all of a sudden the brainstorming starts, and we end up having schools with already curriculum for those teachers, so that they don't have to work out the curriculum for it, to be able to help them understand and help the kids. know about gardening as well as how everything else goes. So, you know, I believe that your choices matter in all areas of your life. And this is just the beginning of the possibilities with the tower garden. So I've given you some ideas of home, possibly business, maybe schools, senior care facilities. But believe me, the tower garden is a classroom waiting to happen. The children that get the bus outside of our home are always talking about, Mrs. Dunn, I think it's time to count the strawberries. Mrs. Dunn, I think it's time to measure the water. So I just love that aspect of being able, and this will be some of your experiences too. Don, you want to take it from here?
Thank you, Bobby. I mean, just picture the possibilities of something like this sitting on your back deck, your neighbor's deck, and the joy of growing your own fresh produce, walking out, picking it out, and growing what you like to eat. You know, from the Juice Plus company, they made nutrition smart and easy with the concept of Juice Plus capsules and the products that we have from the Juice Plus side. However, when they came to this basic thing, they now put a salad bar in the capsule on the left side with making it smart and easy. And now you have a salad bar right outside your back door. It's simple, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Or you could put this right next to your table inside. So there are plenty of possibilities, as Bobby indicated, plenty of opportunities to grow, plenty of things to grow. But I'd like to ask Leah, if you would come on, Leah, and just share some of your growing stories with us.
Hi, thank you, Bobby and Don, for that presentation. I am so excited. Like, as you can see, I'm already sharing online. I started germinating maybe a few weeks ago and just started transplanting in my tower. I've actually done some fun dance videos because that's who I am. As a chef and health coach, plant-based, I'm looking forward to bringing it into a cafe that I'm working here on in St. Louis. And as I was brainstorming, because I can't seem to get carpenters in my space,